Greetings gamers, my name is Brent Justice. Welcome to the thefpsreview.com's YouTube channel, and I have a new video card to show you today. In my hands I have XFX's new XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air, a brand new video card from XFX. We have done a full review on this. Check out our written review at www.thefpsreview.com. I will put a link to the review in the description. The XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air is a new series of video cards available from XFX. You might have heard of this video card previously called Phoenix Nirvana in some markets. In the US, it will be called Magnetic Air, and it is because this video card does a little trick. Look at that. The fans come right off magnetically, all three of them, and they go right back on. A very simple solution for swappable fans. Swappable fans, not a new concept, however, this version is patented by XFX in their magnetic air technology. We have all the details of those fans and how it works on our website. Check out that review. As I mentioned, this is based on the Radeon RX 7900 XTX. So it is the flagship GPU from AMD, which launched at an MSRP of $999. This one, the XFX Mercury series here, Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air, will be around $949.99 USD. So a little bit under the MSRP there, and you are getting a factory overclocked video card. So you are getting a factory overclock with this video card, and of course you're getting the custom cooling. And as you can see, 3 8-pin connectors, and that is actually a feature here because this video card has a very high allowable TDP. In fact, in our overclocking, we managed to get this video card up to 454 watts TDP board power in our overclocking. So you want to check out that review to see our overclocking results. It was very impressive, and even with that high power and a high allowable power, the cooling was excellent. The cooling on this from XFX is just excellent. It is vapor chamber cooling, 3 100mm fans, 11 blade, and keeps it very cool while overclocked, and of course out of the box as well. It performs very good. So you want to check out that review for all the details. In this video today, I'm going to just show you the video card. I'm going to do you an unboxing of it, and I want to show you how it comes out of the box because you have to put this video card together. But that doesn't sound as daunting as it actually is. And I'm going to go over more specifications in that part, and then also I am going to go over some of the benchmarks that we have from our written review and just quickly go over that. This is actually a new series of video cards from XFX. There are going to be other models with magnetic air. They have a Kicksilver Radeon RX 7900 GRE and a Kicksilver Radeon RX 7800 XT in a black and white version, also magnetic air. So there will be a couple more models here available with this magnetic air technology. So that is pretty exciting, and this is again the top end model that they have, the fastest performing model. And again, with the magnetic fans, it is using the N52 rare earth magnets capable of lifting up to 1 kilogram of weight. So these are very strong magnets, but they should last and keep their magnetism over time. And again, just so easy taking them on or off, easy for cleaning, easy if you need to replace them. XFX will provide replaceable fans if your fans have issues or die. They can simply send you a new fan, and you don't have to RMA the entire video card, so that is a bonus. But also keeping them clean and keeping the video card running a very long time, extremely easy with this setup. And with that, you also get, again, a factory overclock card. You get 3 PCIe power connectors, so a lot of power available to the video card and exceptional cooling. And if you want the absolute best Radeon RX 7900 XTX performance, this is going to absolutely deliver that as well. All right, let's do a little bit of an unboxing here. Let me show you what the video card looks like out of the box and give you some more specs on it, and then we'll jump into the benchmarks. Here is the box for the XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air video card. It has this nice diagram on the front. I like the way that looks. It's very colorful, but on the back side, it gives this nice blueprint looking design where it goes over some of the features of the hardware on the video card. I just wanted to show that box because I actually think it's a very, very good looking design. But let's get into the box and see what's inside. And now I have the box out of the box, and the reason why I wanted to show this is because this video card comes in an disassembled state, but don't let that scare you. By disassembled, I simply mean the fans are not installed, but as you're going to see, it's incredibly easy to do. So first, when you open the box, you will discover this, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. My fans are not in the video card. They are separate, and that is correct. It has this on here. This shows you, hey, you need to put this fan in, then this fan, then this fan. Do not operate until you put these fans in. You can scan a code and read the installation guide. Take off this top layer, and we now have the 3 fans in this foam. They each come out individually. Just pop right out. So we'll just take those out real quick. And then underneath, you'll find this other layer, which you can scan for more installation guides in multiple languages. And then we come to the video card itself. And this is how it's displayed to you out of the box. It's just sitting in the box. And it looks a little odd, doesn't it, without the fans installed? You think, oh no, my card is broken or it's missing fans. But obviously we took them out of the top section there, and now we're going to install it. So I'm going to take this out of the box and I will show you how you install the fans and what this video card looks like and go over some of its features. Alright, I now have the XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX 24GB video card in front of me out of the box. This is how it comes. The fans are out of the box. They are out of the card and ready to be installed. Now, let me just show you quickly how easy this is to install. Because they are magnets with these connectors here, you literally drop them into place. So it takes 2 seconds to install the fans. You just drop them into place and you're done. And that is the ease of the magnetic technology and the magnetic air, and that is the key feature and key point of this. Now, of course, swappable fans, it's not a new concept, and we've seen swappable fans in different ways. This, however, is unique for XFX. This is their patented technology for this magnetic air technology, and it is these magnetic fans that makes this unique and the key feature. So if you want to take these fans back off, it's as easy as just grabbing them and pulling off. Now, while I can pull this off with my hand, it is on very good. These are very strong rare earth magnets. We have the specifications for the magnets in our written review, so check our website for that. But these are rare earth magnets. They are very strong. They can hold a specified weight, which we have written down on the website. But they are very strong, and like they grab real good. If I leave it like that, you'll see they just kind of fall into place and snap on pretty much like that. And it is almost a snap-on process. It is just real simple like that. And so for the fans themselves, these are 11 blade fans, 11 blade design, and they are 100 millimeter fans. That's the sizing, 100 millimeters. And they do 70 CFM at up to 3200 RPM. So they do deliver quite a bit of airflow in the card. And for noise level, if you're wondering about noise or vibration with this type of fan, I did not detect any while I was gaming with this video card, and even overclocked where the fans were running even faster, automatically overclocked. I did not detect or notice any type of vibration or any type of noise or odd noise. They actually sounded very quiet to me, and even the noise of the airflow itself, it was a quiet rush of air. It wasn't a whining noise. It wasn't anything that was obnoxious in that noise level. It was very well maintained. So I did not detect or listen or hear any type of problems related to the noise and having this magnetic technology with the fans spinning. They were stable, and they were, yeah, just completely a good quiet design. And the benefit here is, let's say a fan fails, you have a fan problem, instead of having to RMA the entire video card, XFX will send you for free a fan replacement. And it's just that simple then. Replace the fan and you're done. Also, it allows for easy cleaning. We can take these off and clean both sides extremely well and keep these lasting for a long time. But this is incredible. It's very easy, very slick, and I love the way it works. I mean, that's really, I think, a really neat feature. But let's talk a little bit about the video card. As again, we do have a full written review, so check that out for the complete specifications and the complete benchmarks in that written review. This is, of course, based on the Radeon RX 7900 XTX GPU from AMD, which is the flagship GPU from AMD. Now, when the 7900 XTX launched, it was launched at a $999 MSRP. This video card, the XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX, is $949 MSRP, but prices will vary depending on the online retailer, so make sure to check that for updates. But $949 is around where you will find this online. That is a good price then. You're getting it cheaper than when the 7900 XTX launched, and you're getting, of course, the unique magnetic fan technology here, but you're also getting a factory overclocked video card. This is 2615 megahertz out of the box, 2615, and that is higher than the reference clock speed of 2500 boost. So this has a pretty good factory overclock boost on it, but in our testing, and we've already tested this card, it has a very high power limit. It's able to hit a very high power limit or power target, which allows the clock speed to run much higher than that out of the box and sustain that clock speed for long periods of time gaming. Also, it has a very, very good overclocking capability, and it is highly overclockable. So enthusiasts will like it just for that. So at this $949 price tag, you're getting the fans, you're getting the factory overclock, a higher TDP or power limit, and the ability to overclock manually, and of course the cooling on it, which is just exceptional in our testing. But this is the video card here. As you can see on the top, XFX logo. This is an LED logo that lights up. It does have a dual BIOS on it. Here's a BIOS switch right here. So you do have the dual BIOS on it, and the default operation is toward the I/O ports, and that will clock it at the 2615 clock. 3 PCI Express 8-pin connectors you will find on this. That's right, 3. So you have the combined power of that plus the PCI Express power, giving it a tremendous headroom for power delivery there on this video card, again lending to that overclocking and sustained clock speed over time, which is very important. On the back side, we've got a full metal back plate. It is solid and full. It has an air pass-through, so the fan air does pass through the heatsink completely and allow that. This is also a vented back plate, so it will not trap heat underneath, keeps it cool. Several vents in it to let the heat out there, so it's not a heat trap. And as we flip it over here, it's just very well constructed. You can see the thermal pads on everything here. The MOSFETs, the GPU, the RAM, all of it has thermal pads. It's a very solid video card for I/O. We have 3 display ports, 1 HDMI, and on the back side here you can see some of the ends of the heat pipes in there. There we go. And it's just an overall well-made, solid video card. The cooling on it is vapor chamber cooling. It does an extremely well job. Check our review for that, for the temperatures, but they're very good. The length We're at a little over 13.5 inches on this video card and 5 inches this way, and it is a thicker video card this way naturally, so almost 3 inches here. Definitely want to make sure you have room in your case. It's not a small video card. We have the full measurements on the site. You can read that. But this is a very well performing video card. As I said, it's at the top end SKU for AMD GPUs. With the factory overclock, it has a very good clock speed that, again, the important part here is that it sustains that clock speed over time for long periods of gaming. You're not going to throttle down or lose clock speed. You're going to maintain that higher clock speed with this video card. So that keeps its performance up. And of course, you got 24 gigabytes of RAM with the 7900 XTX, so you'll have no problem running ultra settings in games or high resolution. This can push all of that very well. And again, it's all about the magnetic air technology with the fans here. Just really exceptional design and a really unique design. And I think it is something that is innovative. We see a lot of video card designs where it is just simply the body or the heat sink has changed, but this is an innovative feature. They're taking swappable fans. XFX is taking the idea of swappable fans and evolving that to making that a toolless and easy installation or deinstallation of the fans. So if you need that and you plan to keep the video card for a very long time, this is something that can help maintain the lifespan of the video card. And again, XFX warranties this, so if these fans fail, they can just send you new fans and you don't have to send the whole card back to them for that replacement. But that is how the magnetic air technology works on the XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX graphics card. Now let's go over some of the benchmarks from our review. I'm going to go over the benchmark graphs that we did comparing performance on this video card to other video cards, and I will show you what that looks like. So let's go take a look at the benchmark charts. Okay, now let's look at some performance on the XFX Mercury AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air. In these graphs, we're going to go through these pretty quickly. If you want to get all the details and see our percentage analysis on our website, we have the full written review where all of this is detailed there, so make sure to check that out. I'm going to quickly go through the graphs today, and we're going to look at the gaming performance. We do have the video card overclocked here on the top bar. This is our manual overclock. To see what that overclock was, go check out the written review. We are also comparing against an RTX 4080 Super FE and a made by AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX to see the difference between the factory overclock and the reference card. So starting off in Alan Wake 2 at 4K, high quality preset, we have very high performance. It in fact is on par with the GeForce RTX 4080 Super FE at 55 FPS, both providing a playable gameplay experience. Turning on FSR boosts that way up there into the 90s, and overclocking adds a bit more to it, which allows it to be faster than the 4080 Super FE. That is a playable gameplay experience even without the overclocking. Moving on to Assassin's Creed Mirage, also at 4K, highest settings. Here we are getting well over 100 FPS, and overclocking adds a bit more, FSR adds a bit more, but we can see it is just a bit faster than the 4080 Super FE and the 7900 XTX. All of these video cards offering a playable experience. This one just boosts it a little bit more. Moving on to Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. This one, 4K. Now this game always uses ray tracing. So in this one, we do see the 4080 Super leading a little bit over the video card. However, once we overclock it, then it matches 4080 Super performance, and that is pretty impressive considering this is with ray tracing. Moving on to Chernobylite Enhanced Edition at 4K. All video cards allow a playable experience. The XFX Mercury is right up there above the reference card. The 4080 Super edges out just a little bit, but once we overclock it, then the XFX Mercury takes over. Moving on to everybody's favorite, Cyberpunk at 4K. no problem. The XFX Mercury AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air allows a playable 66 FPS, very smooth frame rates. Turning on FSR boosts that even smoother with better latency, but honestly, no problem. Overclocking gives it a little bit more, and we actually see a very, very big uplift over the 4080 Super FE in terms of performance in this game, even with the reference clock speed. Dying Light 2. In this one, the XFX Mercury AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air, again performing at the top here. We are getting a very playable performance above 100 FPS. Overclocking gives you a bit more, and this again beats the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 Super FE at 4K. Forspoken, this game also performing very good. XFX Mercury AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air, 83 FPS, a very playable experience, again above the 4080 Super FE, giving a little bit more than the 7900 XTX reference, and overclocked pushes that a little bit more. Horizon Forbidden West, brand new game. The XFX Mercury video card is doing exceptionally well on this game. You will see quite a bit more performance over the GeForce RTX 4080 Super FE here. Very smooth gameplay. That large frame buffer definitely coming in handy at 4K in this game here. FSR boosts that up to 100 FPS. Overclocking a little bit more. This is just a very good picture, very good playable performance out of it here. Resident Evil 4. We are also seeing very high performance above 100 FPS. Again, faster than the 4080 Super FE. A little bit faster than the 7900 XTX, and overclocked boosts that even more. Returnal. This one also performing extremely well. 100 FPS, very playable. That is faster than the 4080 Super FE and a little bit faster than the 7900 XTX reference, and overclocking gets you just a tiny bit more performance. And in Starfield, also performing extremely well at 4K, very playable performance at 71 FPS, beating the 4080 Super FE slightly, and overclocked a little bit more. Just really good performance there in Starfield. And now let's look at ray tracing. Now we have turned on ray tracing. In Alan Wake 2, we are using the low preset ray tracing, and that is because the high preset with path tracing is, well, unplayable on every video card at 4K, and the same is true here. Even on low preset, all the video cards are unplayable at the low 30 FPS range. We do need to use upscaling on every video card here for it to be playable, even the 4080 Super FE. But what you will notice is that on the low preset ray tracing in Alan Wake 2, the XFX Mercury AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air at 4K is producing the same performance as the 4080 Super FE. So that is low ray tracing, both cards performing the same, and in fact a little bit faster with FSR quality versus DLSS quality. Overclock the video card and it's a little bit faster. That definitely helps get us closer to the 60 FPS range with FSR there. Also, we can see that it's just a tiny bit faster than the reference 7900 XTX. Now, in Chernobylite Enhanced Edition, this game uses global illumination ray tracing, which is very demanding on graphics cards. Now, for this one, the 4080 Super wins by quite a bit, actually. However, even with that win, it is still unplayable itself unless we use DLSS upscaling at 4K. Now, with the XFX Mercury, we see that it is also not playable, and even with FSR, we are at a playable performance, but it's nowhere near what the 4080 Super is playable at. Overclocking helps just a little bit. Cyberpunk, this one we of course did not expect to be playable at 4K. However, it is not, and that is just as we expected it. So yeah, in the 20s, even with the 4080 Super FE at 4K at 30, it's not playable. We do need upscaling in this game. Now, as we can see, the GeForce RTX 4080 Super FE is definitely playable with upscaling. However, the Radeon RX 7900 XTX with upscaling is probably not. So you will probably have to lower the upscaling in this one. We have it at quality FSR here. You're probably going to have to use balanced FSR to allow 4K with ultra ray tracing. In Dying Light 2, this game also a challenge with ray tracing. No card is really playable here at 4K with ray tracing unless we use upscaling. The 4080 Super FE does take the lead in both of those. XFX Mercury card is up there once you turn on FSR. The video card is playable with FSR enabled at 4K with ray tracing. In Forspoken, this game not as demanding as those other ones. We do get to 60 FPS, 61 FPS on the 7900 XTX. In fact, that is just a tiny bit faster there than the 4080 Super FE, so very similar performance between those two video cards, and that's with ray tracing at 4K. Turning on upscaling boosts that up to 90 FPS, so much better there. And Returnal, also playable right at 60 FPS with the XFX Mercury, and with FSR up to 97 there. The 4080 Super does take the lead slightly with ray tracing. And that is all of the gaming performance. Let's move on to the power. We are now looking at the board power as reported by GPU-Z, and we can see that the XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air out of the box has a board power of 393 watts. So that is higher than the AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX made by AMD video card, and that is again due to the factory overclock and the higher allowable TDP. So it does boost to a higher TDP while it's gaming compared to the reference card, but that allows the clock speed to remain consistent over long periods of gaming. Now, when we overclock the card, this is the special sauce here, we can really go and just maximize this card to the max, 454 watts. So yeah, we reached 450 watts on this video card with overclocking, which really allows the maximum clock speed that we could push on the video card. Now, how does it handle with temperatures? Well, first, let's look at the GPU temperature here, and we can see that the XFX Mercury out of the box is 64°C, which is much cooler than the reference card at 70°C, and actually the same temperature as the 4080 Super. When we overclock it, the fans automatically spin up a little bit, and we actually have a cooler temperature, 61. So if we look at the hotspot temperatures here, also very good. You'll notice the reference 7900 XTX gets all the way up to 92°C on the hotspot. The XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air does not, 81°C on the hotspot. So it runs much cooler, and that's still the same even when we were overclocked at 450 watts. Hotspot still 81°C. So very good temperatures. The cooler on the XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air is exceptional, absolutely exceptional for cooling. All right, let's summarize. And there you go, everyone. That is a quick review and look at the XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX Magnetic Air video card. As I said, our full written review has all the detailed and analysis of the benchmarks, a conclusion, all the specs, so go check that out. As you can see, this is a very fast video card. It's very competitive at 4K. It's going to allow that high-end 4K experience. And then games with ray tracing, that's just going to be dependent on the game. Some are easier than the others. With ray tracing, some are not. But in the really tough ones, flip on FSR and you should be pretty good. Of course, it's going to blow through anything at 1440p if that's the resolution you're at. This video card will absolutely dominate that. And at 1440p, it does a lot better with the ray tracing. But this is definitely a competitive card to the 4080 Super, especially since it is factory overclocked, and it can overclock quite a bit with that power headroom. Yes, it's going to eat more power, but the video card is capable of delivering it stably, and the cooler is capable of providing really cool temperatures, especially compared to a made by AMD reference video card or a video card without custom cooling. This is going to absolutely blow that away with its thermals. It's going to allow a stable and fast gameplay, and again, one of the important parts we found with this, which is in the review, the extra power and cooling on this allowed the clock speed to remain very high, a very high boosted clock speed, continuously through long periods of gaming. It didn't throttle down after hours of gaming. It stayed at a high frequency, and that's important for those long gaming sessions that you'll be in with this video card. And again, the magnetic air technology, unique XFX patented technology, and I think just a really cool, feature. We see a lot of video cards today that don't offer a whole lot of new features, simply custom cooling or a custom design. This actually adds a new feature, swappable fans, but in a very easy and usable method that's very quick to operate. Again, they just pull right off and pull right and then snap right on. So that is a look at it. Again, this is a series of video cards from XFX. There will be other ones, a 7900 GRE, a 7800 XT, and you can look for that on XFX's website and get more information there as well. So that's going to wrap it up for this look at the XFX Mercury Radeon RX 7900 XTX video card review. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to check out our linked full review of the video card on our website. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a blessed day.